there was a March Vanity Fair article by Sam Mendes.
Yes.
Where he has 25 rules for directors. Number 8, confidence is essential, but ego is not.
You might think someone's egotistical when they're actually confident.
It's almost like confidence is more of a verb. Ego is more of a state of being. Like, with confidence, you do things.
Yeah.
With ego, you feel things, and you react to things. But confidence is more of a...
I thought it was a very fun list. A lot I apply to my own life.
Well, that's the thing with these types of lists. It's like 25 rules for blanks. It's basically 25 rules for anyone doing anything.
Yes.
25 rules for plumbers. These things apply to most aspects of anyone's life, with the possible exception of, if you have the chance, please work with Dame Judi Dench. Because not a lot of plumbers get to do that.
No, but she's a great plumber. Most people don't know that.
It seems your drain is clogged. I'll have to shut off the water. Snake it out. Is that a Judi Dench?
Yeah, that was actually a surprisingly adept Judi Dench.
Judy, if you need an understudy, please give me a call. I've got a bunch of movies that I've never seen before. You don't know what they are. Every episode, I'm going to spring one on you. It might be good. It might be bad. We'll watch it and talk about it. Welcome to the basement. This is our second episode featuring auteur directors. Craig has been drawing them randomly from this pith helmet. Last time, we drew David Mamet. Some of you might not know a lot about the work of Mr. Mamet, and so Craig has done a little research.
David Mamet is a Chicago playwright and film writer whose terse and profane dialogue shines a light onto societies of men, demonstrating how, when left to their own devices, guys will become more animalistic and cruel. Hey, Tona. Oh, be cool.
David Mamet hasn't made that many movies compared to other auteur directors. And the truth is, I've seen most of them.
Yeah?
So I had to dig deep to find one I haven't seen. But don't think that we're settling, because who doesn't like a good heist?
Oh, I was hoping for this one.
Really?
Because I also have not seen it.
Nice.
And it's been a while since I've seen a Gene Hackman movie.
Released in 2001, Heist stars Gene Hackman, Danny DeVito, Delroy Lindo, and Mamet stalwarts Rebecca Pidgeon and card-throwing magician Ricky Jay.
Fastest cards in the world.
The late, great Roger Ebert had this to say of Heist. This movie is made out of fresh ingredients, not cake mix. Now I just want to eat cake.
Yeah.
The film generated more than $72 million in home video rentals, much higher than its box office gross, which I guess makes this movie a cult film? What do you think?
I worked at a video store a very long time ago, and evidently one of the biggest videos ever is Sandra Bullock's The Net. That's not a cult movie. A cult movie has to have a following.
Well, Craig, you might be thinking to yourself, I'd like to pull off a heist sometime.
I would.
Well, maybe you don't know this, but if you do that, you could end up in jail. The clink, the cooler, the hoosgow. If this happens to you, God forbid, hopefully this gift will help you. Wear that. They'll think that you're a guard, not a prisoner.
This doesn't fit my head, Matt. There we go. If I don't put this on at all...
Oh, man, you got a big head.
I got a huge melon.
And if by chance you're extradited to a different state, you can still wear that hat, and they'll think that you're a visiting prison dignitary.
I just stopped by for an inspection. I'm trying to figure out what would be best in our Dodgeville operations.
So now I think we should...
what?
We should do the thing.
The thing?
Yeah, yes, the thing.
What? Watch
the thing that I'm talking about that is pertaining to...
The what?
What we do on the goddamn old leather couch, which is watching the movie Heist.
So we should go there.
This is what I'm saying. You know what it takes to watch this movie? It takes brass balls to watch this movie. Delroy Lindo, a walking, talking Easter Island statue. Joe and his crew cause an explosion downtown, and in the ensuing chaos, they pull off a heist.
They're robbing a jewelry store.
Fran, Joe's wife, sneaks the sleeping drugs into the coffee that knocks out all the jewelry store employees. Barista Fatale. Almost all of them. One of them didn't drink the coffee. Joe doesn't want to shoot her, so he hits her with a stun gun instead and gets his face caught on tape.
He doesn't wear his mask. Why do people even make those plastic masks? Nobody wears them for recreation. Plastic masks are only used for crime.
Or if you're a sociopath and you want to freak somebody out.
Yes.
When you've trapped them in your dungeon. You put on that mask and you go, "It's time to play a game." They successfully pull off the heist, but Joe can't get a hold of the security tape. Warriors, Come out and play, Warriors! So they've got his face. He decides to give up his life of crime and retire. Joe takes the jewels to Mickey and expects to get his fair cut.
My nephew, Jimmy Silk.
Jimmy Silk.
But Mickey screws him over.
We did the job, my partners and me.
Hey, fuck you and fuck your partners.
Not cool.
What do you want me to do, sit down and pull up a chair while you rape me?
If you'd pause in your headstrong progress, I want you to do the other thing.
Joe and Bobby take off out of the place, but Jimmy Silk is following them.
You know why the chicken crossed the road? Because the road crossed the chicken. Walk away.
A few cops show up, but luckily Pinky's there to distract the cops in the only way he knows how. That is a man who loves his boss.
If he wants his full share of the take, he's gonna have to pull off one more job. The Swiss job.
And they don't explain what it is.
And furthermore, Mickey's nephew, Jimmy Silk, has to be in on the job with him.
Jimmy Silk.
Joe reluctantly agrees.
I'm gonna be as quiet as an ant pissing on cotton.
Joe, Bobby, and the rest of the crew, including Jimmy Silk, are on the side of the highway doing some preliminary preparations for the Swiss job.
But cops show up.
Joe and Bobby play it cool.
Just pick up your clipboard and make like you're writing in it. Pick up the clipboard.
Don't make me get out of this car and get hit by another car. But Jimmy Silk gets a little twitchy and almost blows the whole thing. They don't want him on this job.
They decide they have to get rid of the car because it's evidence.
But Pinky doesn't do it.
They found the car.
Oh, and Pinky left his notepad in there. That's no good.
Job stands. We meet in 10 days.
What, are you out of your mind?
Bobby and Silk, they leave.
Come back here and take fucking out.
Jump out in front of him, Pinky! Stop him!
And there they go.
It was just a double cross to get rid of Jimmy Silk. The cops never found the car. It was a ruse.
You know, I would have loved to do that Swiss job. Never liked the Swiss. They make them little clocks. These two cocksuckers come out of them. These little hammers hit each other on the head. What kind of sick mentality is that?
Joe and Fran are going to pull off a boat scam, and then they're going to leave the country.
But there's someone lurking out in the shadows.
Jimmy Silk comes creeping back around.
Silk.
You want to play the dozens? Huh?
Your mama's so fat, when I beat her with a pipe, she dies. He finds out about the whole ruse.
You gotta do the job, Joe.
And then the job's back on. To get back in Mickey's good graces,
They send Fran in to do the talking and the seducing. And Jimmy brings out the silk.
so they go to the airport to pull off another heist. Today I'm gonna get hit by a plane.
Just confirm our ATC clearance to Philadelphia.
Yeah, we are Swiss pilots. We will hit each other in the heads with hammers as soon as we hit 30,000 feet. They infiltrate the security system.
They detonate another explosion, causing a diversion, which allows them to pull the Swiss plane over on the runway.
We have reports of a possible explosive device on board.
We also have reports of things that we want to steal on board. Board it, knock out the pilots, and get what they're going there to steal. What are they going to steal, Craig?
They're stealing the leads.
Swiss gold. They load the gold into the van and take off.
That's what the Swiss people are doing. Gold. It's not cuckoo clocks.
Go sell chocolate, you Heidi motherfuckers. Go sell cuckoo clocks. We got your gold.
And they go their separate ways to see each other at the meet later. But Jimmy Silk knocks out Joe, and he and Fran take the gold. Looks like Fran might have fallen for Jimmy Silk for real. They get run off the road by a semi. That's Joe. He picks up Fran and they take off.
Do you think I'm gonna walk away from all this?
Ghoul?
They filled up the van not with the gold, but with a bunch of crap.
Washers? That's even better. He got double-crossed again. This is the post-heist heist. The heist where they heist the heisters.
Meanwhile, Joe and Bobby are melting down the gold bars to use for something.
Just don't spill that on Johnny Tremaine's hand.
That was silver.
And they outfit Joe's boat with gold accoutrement to hide the gold. Meanwhile, Mickey's goons intercept Pinky.
Where's the gold? Where's the meat?
What are you gonna do? Hurt me?
Oh, but they get a hold of his niece. And so he gives up Joe's plan. And Pinky gets killed.
And before they can make it out of town, who should show up but Mickey?
They say, give us back the gold. Get off the... Where's the gold? Get off the boat. The gold is on the boat.
Fran seems to be in on the job too.
Time to heist the heisters who heisted the heisters.
You want to wrap it up? You want to just stand around out here and guess my real name?
What is your real name?
Rumpelstiltskin.
I always knew it! They find out that the gold rims and things aren't actually gold.
Where's the gold?
Now, where's the gold? Tell us where the gold is. Oh, the gold's over here.
Where's the fucking gold?
The gold's over here. Oh, where's the gold? Oh, now the gold's here. Give me the gold.
Guns come out, shoot everyone.
Joe gets shot, but then out of nowhere, Bobby appears and starts shooting everybody. Time to heist the heisters who heisted the heisters who pulled the heist.
Called it!
Mickey gets shot,
How about that?
and the penguins come and take him back to the sewer.
Don't you want to hear my last words?
I just did.
Evidently, they live in a town where everyone is deaf.
Joe and Bobby go out to eat. Joe goes back to his garage where he has painted the gold black, and Fran shows up.
Shame about Pinky.
That's my favorite Lemonheads album.
Yeah.
That's the price.
It's a shame
Name about Pinky. I can't take this anymore. I've been switcherooed so many times, I'm dizzy.
Where's the gold?
I'm so sick of that question right now. And they steal the gold again. Ho, did they?
There's a bunch of gold pipes left behind, which Joe takes.
He finally has his gold and nobody's going to take it from him.
And that is the thing.
Well, that was a little movie called Heist, or as it should have been called, Heists. There are approximately 900 heists that happen in this movie.
You know, and I love a heist movie. And a heist movie called Heist that is filled with heists you think would be my favorite heist movie.
I'm sensing that that's not the
Yes,
case.
I did not really enjoy this movie.
I find that a little hard to believe that you didn't enjoy it at all.
I enjoyed it a little.
Some very inspired dialogue.
You know, he's been doing that David Mamet dialogue at this point for over 25 years. And I wonder if he tires of writing things in the David Mamet style.
A lot of times actors will trip up on that. He has a tendency through his dialogue to make good actors sound like bad actors because the dialogue can be so stiff and so stilted.
Ricky Jay, who's not a great actor, he knows how to do Mamet speak.
He seems to thrive in the Mamet world.
Yeah, and Joe Montana and William H. Macy, they're known for it. Gene Hackman is a weird fit for this movie because Hackman always talks like Hackman.
I have seen those actors that you mentioned before, William H. Macy, Joe Mantegna. I've seen them stumble on the Mamet words. If you have seen Oleana or House of Games, those two seem really stiff in that.
But that's what Mamet wants. I
didn't get that.
He wants the words to do the heavy lifting.
He wants the actor just to be a canvas that his words can be sort of painted on.
Yes.
A movie is just a gallery for his script to hang in.
So he's the opposite of Terrence Malick. His actors are figures upon a landscape. So Malick does pictorial movies, while Mamet does these dialogue movies. In a week, we're not going to remember any cool shots from this movie because there weren't any cool shots from the movie.
But we will remember...
I'm going to be as quiet as an ant pissing on cotton.
Because how are you going to forget that?
What makes a good heist movie?
A complex plan. And at some point, the plan has to go awry, and the heisters have to change the plan on the fly.
I like it when you get most of the plan, everything leading up to the heist. Well, with this one, you didn't know what they were doing, you didn't know what they were stealing, you didn't know what the obstacles were.
I kind of like that, though. You know that they're moving towards their quarry.
Yes, they're going to get the MacGuffin.
And so it's a little bit of a novel way to present that situation. Just let it unfold before your eyes, and you have to put it together as they're doing it. I sort of like the fact that there wasn't that inevitable scene of like the map of the airport and they're all leaning over it and they got the little pieces that they're moving around.
I wasn't excited during the heist sequence.
It wasn't so much a pulse-pounding experience, It was more of an intellectual experience.
What did you like about the movie?
I liked the movie. Through the Swiss thing. And then when it got to just like robbers robbing robbers, I got a little tired of it. All right, the movie Heist has stolen an afternoon from us, and maybe it can do the same to you if you choose to watch it. Check it out. You know what you don't have to break into? What's open to the public all day long is our website, welcometothebasementshow.com. You can go there and watch all the episodes of our show. You can read things. Craig writes these flaky little essays about various topics, and you can go to the PayPal donation button and you can contribute to support this show. We're a viewer-supported show. So throw us a few dollars.
Or gold ingots.
Gold ingots definitely are welcome. You can transfer those through PayPal, I think. Our recent donors include Daniel, Patricia, the supercomputer guy, who writes, I'm giving you $5 because... Hopefully that message didn't get cut off. Brendan, Sean, Zoe, hi Zoe, David, Ahmed, Kenneth, who writes, you guys still rock, and Patrick, who writes, I thought you guys were cool. You guys are the worst. Thank you for that, and for your contribution. We'll use it to turn things around. And Brian Weideman writes, Ernesto cameos are just gravy on top of your hearty movie meatloaf. Let's check in with Ernesto and see what he's doing today. Oh, he's in a basket! How cute is that?
That is adorable.
And now, if you'd pause in your headstrong progress, it's time for Seen It.
It?
Will Bodnar writes, The Butler. I'm sure he means Lee Daniels, The Butler.
He could mean the 1915 silent film, The Butler, which is why it's called Lee Daniels, The Butler.
That's not really true, is it?
That's really true. The original Butler came out in 1915, and no one remembers it, and there's no existing copies left anymore.
Oh, come
no
on.
living person has seen that movie. What is forgotten is that in 1929, there was a movie called The Wolf of Wall Street. No lawsuit.
A reviewer referred to this film as a grandiose cartoon. I think that is a very good description of The Butler. By the middle of the movie, all I was doing was playing Who's Gonna Play the President Next?
I know.
Oh, Eisenhower's leaving office. Who's going to be Kennedy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting choice. Lee Daniels' next movie, Disney's The Hall of Presidents.
Oh.
He can do all 44 presidents, and it would be called Disney's Lee Daniels' The Hall of Presidents.
Mr. Andreas Strauss writes, Hey guys, love your show. How about The Truman Show?
Seen it.
Seen it. Didn't like that movie. Everyone said it was so original. And I had heard that story 2 or 3 different times before on, like, new Twilight Zone episodes.
It was supposed to be Jim Carrey's big dramatic turn, but for the most part, he's still doing Jim Carrey shtick throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Jim Carrey. When he's doing balls-to-the-wall comedy, it's pretty fun to watch.
Yeah.
But it's all that stuff in between where he has to do sincere dialogue, where he's insufferable. And that's really why he triumphs so much in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, because he gets past that.
But in Truman Show, it's like, oh, he's not funny. Now he's boring.
Emily Coburn writes, Have you seen Sullivan's Travels? It's one of my all-time favorites. Oh, brother, I have seen it.
Seen it.
I know you have some bones to pick with it.
My bone is that I read somewhere that it was the funniest comedy of all time.
Oh.
So how could it be good? Same thing that happened to you with Some Like It Hot.
Right.
Part of the problem with the fact that I didn't find it funny is that there are dramatic stretches in the movie. And so It's like, it's not like Airplane or Blazing Saddles.
I really like the message of the movie, which is like the importance of comedy. It really is something that uplifts the human spirit.
Yeah, it helps you escape the Great Depression, which is life. Jamie Bartholomew asks, I love the show. Also, have you seen British spy thriller Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy? Seen it.
Seen it.
Yes, Matt.
Ugh, that movie. There has never been a movie that I've watched where I went from beginning to end understanding nothing. I was a blank slate. Didn't know who was who, didn't know what was happening. I'm not a stupid man. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. But that movie just whizzed past everything. I went straight through Putney Swope Panic, right to Putney Swope Shutdown. That movie. And you like this movie.
Here's a little secret, Matt. I watched the movie, and I was just like, okay, follow everything. And at the end, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I see. He was the mole.
Yeah, I got that.
Yes. A couple years later, I read the book, and I'm reading the book, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Well, you got to remember everything. And at the end, I'm like, oh, yes. He's the mole. And then right after it, I saw the original miniseries with Alec Guinness from the 70s. And I'm watching the movie, having just read the book. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? In the end, same guy's the mole. Yeah. I love the new one because the weight of everything in the movie. Every cigarette looks like it weighs 1,000 pounds. And just how being a spy is not a fun job at all.
J.D. Gatsby writes, Have you guys seen any of the adaptations of The Great Gatsby? My personal favorite is when Mr. DiCaprio played Jay Gatsby himself. Seen it.
Seen it.
It's not as though it couldn't work, but it didn't work.
Not at all.
Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm a big fan. I think he's great.
He had good moments. Yeah.
But he's not bulletproof, and he does not rise to the occasion to pull off Gatsby. You know what the key to playing Gatsby is?
What?
2 words. Old sport. Because he says old sport at the end of every sentence. And if he doesn't do it right, it's going to get really annoying really fast. And I don't think he does it right.
Baz Luhrmann thinks we're all idiots. And so now I hate Baz Luhrmann. I want everything spelled out for me. They repeat it like 3 or 4 different times.
Yeah, and I can't pay attention to a story unless it's throwing glitter at me constantly.
Yes, it's just excessive, and I know that's why we hired Baz Luhrmann, but just like how David Mamet dialogue that's new sounds stale after all these years, Baz Luhrmann needs a new shtick. I scream, you scream, we all scream in Gatsby. I can go on.
I know you can go on. We only got so much show. All right, that's seen it, and that's our show. Thank you for joining us for Heist, the movie about stealing. The episode after our next episode is our 50th episode. Can you believe we've been doing this?
The big 50.
That's right, for so long. In celebration of 50 episodes, watching movies for you good people. I'm not going to pick the movie. Craig's not going to pick the movie. One of you will pick the movie. Think of the movie that you want. Put it in the comments along with the reason why. I will look through all of them and I will select one. I'm only going to pick a movie that I haven't seen. So, don't write Star Wars because I've seen them all. That doesn't mean that the movie you pick has to be obscure because there are many well-known movies, blockbusters, classics, that I haven't seen.
You hadn't seen Top Gun or Armageddon until we had the show.
Sure.
Yeah.
Your best bet is to just suggest more than one movie. Secondly, I'm not going to pick the movie that the most of you vote for. So if you really want us to watch the Pelican Brief and you just leave 1,000 comments, watch the Pelican Brief, that's not going to make us watch the Pelican Brief. In fact, nothing will make us watch the Pelican Brief. Good. If you really want us to pick your movie, leave a bunch of different movies. Lastly, this is not a rule or a guideline, it's just more of a suggestion. Don't pick a movie that you want us to watch. Pick a movie that you want to watch. Something that's close to your heart. Something that you love because it's so good. Or something that you love because it's so bad. Pick a movie that's important to you. Don't pick a movie that's an endurance test for us. Because that's not what this show is about. And I'm not going to pick those movies anyway because I don't want to watch them. Once again, our 50th episode is not our next episode. It's the one after that. Our next episode is the last of the auteurs. And we're going to be drawing, once again, from the pith helmet. Last time we did this, we did a little gambling. You got to guess who was on the slip. And if you guessed, then you would have gotten to pick the movie. You didn't do it. No. You totally failed. You kind of disappointed me, but that's beside the point. So I've got a consolation prize for you. I'm going to draw 3 names out of this hat. I'm going to reveal the names to you. You will pick the director that you want to see a movie from, and then I will present you with one of their movies next time. 1, 2. Why don't you pick the third one?
3.
Bogdanovich. Next up, we take a trip to a different part of the world with Almodovar.
I had a feeling he'd be showing up.
And from there, we travel back in time to a bygone era with Murnau.
I see.
You take a look at these.
I will.
Take your time, make a choice.
Think about it. I'm trying to remember who Murnau is.
German silent director.
Nosferatu guy?
Yeah, Nosferatu.
Murnau. No 2 ways about it. Never been that big of a fan of Almodovar. And Bogdanovich's career is very spotty.
We will be watching a film by F.W. Murnau. Pinky's little niece.
I might have to go traveling for a while.
While I'm gone, don't forget, always hate the Swiss.
Back, Daddy.
Hate the Swiss.
You know why the chicken crossed the road? Because the road crossed the chicken.